Today, I will be showing you how to complete your back-to-school annual update. You will complete the annual update within the Campus Parent Portal, which you can find on our homepage underneath the Families tab. Next, log into Campus Parent Portal. If you need help resetting your username or password, please use the link on the right-hand side underneath Announcements. Once you are logged in, you will find the annual update by clicking on the More tab on the left-hand side, then selecting Annual Update from that menu. You will then be directed to the Annual Update landing page. Select Start to begin filling out the form. On this page, you should see listed all the students you have attending SoWashCo schools. If you are missing any children, please call the number listed for assistance. If everything is looking correct, you can click Begin. From here, you can select the language in which you would like to complete the annual update.
Anytime you see a red asterisk in a field, that indicates a required piece of information. And the very first thing we need is your primary phone number. This will be the phone number that gets district calls regarding updates, announcements, and emergencies. We also would like your home address. You also have the option to change the home address if the one that is listed is incorrect. Next, we'll move on to the Parent and Guardian page. If a name is listed as yellow, that means it needs to be edited and reviewed. So first, we'll start with the first one, James. We'll click the button that says Edit Review. I'm filling this out for myself, so I'm going to go through and make sure that my information is correct. If something on this page is not correct, once again, I would reach out to our Student Information Department by the phone number or enroll at SoWashCo.org. Please ensure that the address listed for this guardian is correct. Next, we'll update phone numbers and email address for this parent or guardian. Please know that it is an option to select Has no email if you wish to not receive emails or do not have an email address. Next, we're looking at Impact Aid for families that are in the military. For those that are not, you can select No and move to the next step. However, if this particular parent or guardian is part of the military, select Yes, and then complete the information in the remaining fields, such as military branch, status, and start date. This completes the review for the first parent or guardian listed, and as you can see, my name is now no longer highlighted. So we can move down the list to the next highlighted name. You also have the option at the bottom of the screen to add a new parent or guardian. Once all parents and guardians have been edited and reviewed, you can press the button that says Save/Continue at the bottom of the screen to move on to the next section, which is Emergency Contacts. Much like the Parent-Guardian section, all of the emergency contacts that need to be edited or reviewed are highlighted in yellow. So we'll start with the first one, John. You also have the option at this point to remove this emergency contact for the students in this household. We would urge you to remove an emergency contact that does not have a valid phone number in case of emergencies. In this case, this emergency contact does have a valid phone number, so we can move to the next step and review the phone numbers that are listed. This is also the opportunity to update this emergency contact's email address and address. And while these two pieces of information are not required, the more ways we have to get a hold of an emergency contact, the better. When the first emergency contact has been fully reviewed, please check for the others and make sure that all of their information is correct, or add new ones if you need. Next, we'll move on to other household members. This is any child under 21 that is in your house that was not listed on that first page, or a child that is not currently enrolled in our schools. This would be the time to add them. Now we'll move on to the students. Much like the parent guardians and the emergency contacts, any students that need to be edited and reviewed will be highlighted in yellow. So we'll start with the first one on the list, Henry. On this page, I can confirm the information. However, any other information that needed to be changed on this page would have to be done with our Student Information Department at the phone number mentioned earlier or at enroll@SoWashCo.org. Next, we'll move on to the race and ethnic background of the selected student. Please know that for American Indian or Alaska Native, Asian, Black or African American, and Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, you will be asked to give more specific ethnic or nationality information. You may also decline to indicate. You will not be able to move forward until something is filled in that field. Next, we're going to move on to housing. This is for students who may be experiencing home insecurity. If a student is not homeless, then you can select no and move forward. However, if a student is homeless, you can select yes, and there will be some additional questions regarding the student's housing status. The next few pages are regarding the relationships of the parents and guardians, emergency contacts, and any other students that are listed. You can also select the contact sequence. For instance, James is listed as the father and is listed as contact sequence number 1. That means he would be contacted first in case of an emergency or communication. Please ensure that the relationships are up to date, and know that you can also check the box that removes this person from the relationship with the student, and they won't be contacted in case of emergency. This also goes for any siblings or other household members. You can select a relationship or select no relationship. The next section of the review will be specific to the student's age. If the student is in elementary school, then they will have an emergency school closing form for South Washington County Schools, which gives options like should come home as usual, must call me, the parent guardian, or has an alternate plan, which they would write below. I'm selecting should come home as usual, which brings me to health services, medical. I can select there's no medical condition, or I can select add a condition and choose from asthma, diabetes, epilepsy, or severe allergy to make sure that our health department and schools have this crucial information. Next, you'll have the opportunity to add any medications that a student is taking. You can tell us the type, where it's taken, and any other comments or instructions. Also, if there are any medications that are currently listed that the student no longer takes, you may remove them. If your student needs to add a medication for school, please print out and turn in the medication authorization form to your student's assigned school. For secondary students, there's also an option for self-carry pain relievers. The parent or guardian can give their student permission to self-carry pain relievers such as Tylenol or Motrin while at school. The next section is for all students. First, the media opt-out, where you can give permission or do not give permission for your student to be interviewed, photographed, and videotaped for the district. Next is the opportunity to give or not give permission for your student to participate in any field trips that are offered. Finally, please acknowledge that you've filled this out to the best of your knowledge and sign in the box, and you're ready to move on to any remaining students that you have. Please continue until all students no longer are highlighted in yellow or add a new student. Once you've completed the review of all of this information, you can hit the red Submit button. Please know that by confirming, you will not be able to go back into this system and update or edit any information. Any further changes would have to be made directly with our Student Information Department. Thank you for taking the time to ensure that all of the information in Infinite Campus is correct. The more information that we have, the better we can serve you and our students. Once again, thank you for your time.